Welcome to Mecca. It is Slam Finals night. How are y'all doing? Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up. I am your humble and confused host, Dasha Kelly, and we're going to take somebody to nationals tonight. Is that all right with you? All right, we're going to get going. We have our judges in place. We have our audience in place. And we most definitely have a team of 10 unbelievable poets ready to lay it down tonight. But like anything else, any other kind of exercise, you can't get started before you get warmed up. So we want to make sure our judges are where they need to be. So we're going to bring up what we like to call a sacrificial poet. This is that poet that comes to the stage and puts it on the mic to make sure that you feel good about what's going on, that the judges can get an idea of how they want their scoring to go. So how this poet scores will determine how everybody else does tonight. So let's make sure we keep it hot, right? We want to make sure we get it off right? So please put your hands together for Adaugo.
They raped my mother. They raped my mother in her own home as my father helplessly watched. Ran up on her like bandits in the night and raped her soul, a slow grind. Took turns while they fucked her mind, drilled holes upon her forehead till she bled out all her knowledge, till she was hollow, till finally she forgot all the gods and spirits she used to follow, and some of her children are lost now. You can't find them. They raped my mother. They raped my strong, beautiful mother, tore dirty nails into her flesh, sunk rotten teeth into her breast, and infested her with capitalistic diseases. Gave her too many reasons to divide her children like cattle to be slaughtered, a blood offering, but not to feed her altar. They forced her to her knees, and to appease, she opened wide her mouth and swallowed their language whole. Bitter tones that burned the back of her throat until her own words were secondary. Her children's tongues are cut now. You can't mend them. They raped my mother. They raped my strong, beautiful, holy mother. They robbed her of her precious jewels and her beautiful light. When their fat bellies were full, they left her there to die. They tore apart her insides, then slowly pulled out their small, pale dicks and left a picture of Jesus by the bedside, said that would be her children's comfort, or the invisible noose around their yet-to-be broken necks. Scatter her seeds so far apart that we can't agree on what to do next or even how to heal her. We don't even recognize her, but her beauty remains still. And if I have a will, then we have a way to make those fascist devils pay for the rape of our mother and the murder of our father and the separation of us, their children. And my mother is screaming to let a real revolution begin.
Like you mean it for Bishop.
I traveled backwards in my mind to a time when I was 7 years old. I'm only 7 years old. I mean, think about it. Only 7 years in this world and already my sunny days are gone, because in the forefront of my mind, there's this memory. There's this memory that has been kept secret because if told, it would cause so much misery that the culprit would have been better off killing me. And sometimes I feel that I would have been better off running away, praying every day that nobody's missing me, even if it would have caused me some pain. But think about it. Because if the truth be told, no pain is worse than the memory of the sexual molester hitting me and threatening to kill me, and anybody got told about the other thing he did to me. I mean, I'm only 7 years old. 7 years old, and I remember it like it was yesterday. Because if the truth be told, it's April 10th, 1992, when the last time it happened was yesterday. April 9th, 1992, my father's birthday. And if only my father would have been there for his son, then maybe these perverted acts against me would have never been done. And maybe if my father would have participated more in my life, then maybe these sinful acts against God would have never begun. But then again, who am I to question whether or not it would have ever happened? I mean, I'm only 7 years old. I have no control over other people's actions. I have no say on how other people affect me, for that is God's job. That's God's job. And so here I am, a 7-year-old, wondering why in the heavens, in the world, in the hell, didn't God do his job and protect me from the perverted man, from the boogeyman with the busy hands and perverted plan to molest me? So I travel forward in my mind to a time called right now. I remember those days almost like it was yesterday. And I say almost because those are just a little vague, because it's 11 years later and I'm 20 years of age. I do remember going to Mama and telling her what happened. And I do remember Mama snapping and asking, why didn't I tell her sooner? And I do remember coming up with no conclusion, remaining in silence. And I remember social services telling us that I needed therapy. But I remember saying to myself that therapy was not needed. What I needed was a hug and some love and somebody to be there for me. And see, I didn't find those things in my friends, and nor did I find them in my family. The only things that ever stood up for me was me and my God and my poetry. So my poetry goes beyond the Escalade on rims. And this is what I do because it goes beyond jewelry and new pairs of Tim's. See, this is my life, and it goes beyond the competition and the slam. So if the judges gave me zeros across the whole board, I wouldn't give a damn because this is my life. And before I can move on with my life, before I can gain the strength to participate in any slam, I had to go to my mother's house yesterday and answer the question that she once asked, and I told her the reason I never said anything was because I was scared, and I was only 7 years old.
When I speak this way with the things I say, I am fate. And I freestyle my thoughts across cosmic clusters, skipping stone poems, thrown with all the strength I can muster to combust you like the flame that's spontaneous inside your spirit with my lyrics and the way I bust. See, I bust the flows that buried Pompeii. Vesuvius erupted the very same day. You can call that a coincidence. Call it what you may. But it won't coincide with what's on display. I spit the Arctic icebergs that split the Titanic. But I bring enough heat to thaw out the 9th planet. So we can all live on Pluto by the time I'm done spitting as one world, one love, one people, one religion. Cause I speak the secret of the divine covenant. Divinity is in me so deep and I'm loving it. It's permanent. Time is not concerning me. Cause the true essence of time is all eternity. And it's turning you and it's turning me. And we're twisting like tornadoes. But I feel that fire internally as I listen to volcanoes. And memories of the earth disperse like molten magma, erupt from the crust, writing poems forever after. Call it disaster, call it chaos, call it anything you wish. But the name is not the essence, it's of no significance. Through the distances I've crossed, I've never lost my vital step. Even at the ocean's depth, I still could hold my breath. Cause I'm a warrior wordsmith, writing on this world with subversive cursive, dispersing my whirlwinds, unfurling my flags like a whirling dervish burning through the sands. I am the very first scribe born in Mesopotamia, the original biblical messenger of mania. What I came to say to you will seem insane to you, cause you let that sacred name get too far away from you. Bring it back. Bring it back. The voice of fate is a boiling lake, like a geyser ready to bust. I said the voice of fate is a boiling lake, and it's about to make you all combust. Boom. See, when I was little, or hell, at least younger, I would run home and tell my mother that those kids at school were hitting and teasing, and she would tell me that was just jealous of me, because even though I didn't always have new clothes, I was always clean. And she'd say, kids can be so mean, and she told me, stop letting them see you cry. You too big for that. And from now on, you better fight back. And then I'd interject, but Mama, you said go find the teacher. Then she put her hands on her hip and she leaned in close and said, either you fight them or you fight me. So at school, I began to swing.
And I told him, she told me to tell him that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. So that's exactly what I did. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words came to kill me. Incapacitates me, cause me never to believe in me, distort my vision when I can only see other people's opinion of what I was supposed to be. See, I was dying at the friendly hand of my ABCs. See, there were days when I would have begged for the sticks and the stones. I would have preferred the sticks and the stones that would have broke my bones, but not my heart. See, words have power, and they have from the start, because words started this world to spinning, and words turned on heaven's electricity when God spoke through eternity, let there be light. And there was light, and there is light, and there shall be light. Every time I bless the mic, I'll be a light in sometimes otherwise dark places. I will be an oasis. Come and drink from this river of living water. I'll be a pleasant, refreshing replacement to all of life's negatives. And maybe you heard them when you were a kid. You stupid. You ain't never gonna be nothing. I wish you were more like your sister or your brother. You too skinny, you too fat. Who do you think you are? You can't accomplish that. See, I write and recite divine words to build self-worth and cultivate self-esteem, empower the fallen to rise like steam, because no more we shall now is overcoming time for we that's been slapped and spit on by words that held us hostage. Now I live by the phrase, you can't box me in. And see, not only me gonna prosper from this, because when I catch up to success, I'm gonna trip it, so you ain't got to chase it. And when opportunity comes a knocking for me, I'm a kidnapper, so you can have easy access. I write to recite divine words to build self-worth, cultivate self-esteem, empower the fallen to rise like steam, because yes, sticks and stones do break bones, but words can kill.
I want to be the people's prophet. I want to be the people's prophet, prophetically professing prophecies in poetic form. I want to sacrifice the cold and ice for the sake to keep my people warm. I want to be that rap lyric that warms a troubled ghetto child's soul. And if one of my niggas running from the cops, hell, if one of my niggas running from the cops, then I want to be his shoe soles. I want to be more than the dream or the envisioned promised scene. I want to be the gold, that shining pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, the ascending crash of the symbols crescendo. I don't want to be chiefing in the cypher with my niggas. I want to be the endo. Pass it around the world and get the whole globe blowed. I don't want to be a flashy rap star. I want to be as fresh as his freestyle flows, and I don't want to be a poet. No, I don't want to be a poet. I want to be a poetic prose from the rose that grows from concrete. I want to be the concrete beneath the Jeep of the driver's seat of the nigga holding heat under the passenger seat. I don't want to dance in the club. I don't want to dance in the club. I want to be the deep bass in the beat, making people rise up their seat like a hot summer's heat. I want to be the gossip. I don't want to be the griot. I want to be the story that's told to the children as they grow. Sacrificing sun rays for hope on rainy days. When my mind fades on how crime pays, but no longer can we live that way. I want to be the intuition that changed your decision about hanging on the block today. 4 or 5 of your niggas got shots. I want to be the final breaths of Biggie and Pac, the last thoughts of the man holding the rock that made him stop it. Think about how we would witness the murdering of our young black prophets. I want to hang out late nights on the corner freestyling like freestyling on the corners with the brothers for non-profit, throwing some rock shit and start a mosh pit. Man, I want to be the people's prophet, permanently professing prophecies through poetic form. I want to sacrifice for the sake to keep my people warm. But do you want me to be a prophet?
This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. All pencil pusher pedantic poets, put down your pens. Report to your basement now. You must take shelter. You must run and hide. The truth is coming. The truth is coming. Cause I saw the hairprints on my mirror and on my closet door. Last night 2 figures stood guard in my bed. No voices in my head, but God speaks through children's eyes who watch my every move, quote back my every word. So how could I ever lie and make light of this thing? How dare you pass judgment on something that I said? How dare you try and fathom these thoughts in my head just because you've written 5 poems? Well, I've been writing since I was 5, so at that rate, by the time you've written 10, I will have already lived 10 lifetimes. Since when did the mic give you license to entice the masses with your grandiose fantasies? When reality is, until your words have incited a riot or quieted a reckless soul, your mouth has only passed gas, cause you ain't said shit. The ancestors are listening and judgment is coming on all those ejaculating erroneously into the ears of the eager, for you love more the sound of your own voice than the sound of a conscious choice made by one who has vowed to never fall again. And what will you say when all those whose names you called in vain line up and make you spit lit on the title author dated content from every news clip from which you've clipped your latest inspiration? For without hesitation you held that nothing is sacred as you pimp politics to get applause, shouting out poetic cue words like ISIS, Osiris, reparations, ghetto streets, Marcus, Nefertiti, without rhyme, reason, or cause. With your index finger, you point out your subject's flaws, but if we dared explore the index to your life's book, we'll find 3 times the scars. Think you know the essence cause you read it? I know the truth cause I said it. What you thought was yours I took. Place it as an empty page in the back of my book, so by the time you're done reading my words, you'll finally have something to say. So choose ye this day whom you will serve. If poetry be your calling, then sit here and learn. To be honest, I hate to have to do this, but fact is you new to this and this tongue lash will make you reminisce on the days Big Mama sat down the switch and proceeded to beat you down with anything she could find. And it's not that you're trying to diss me, because reality is you don't have the words. And battling me is absurd because intellectually you're not even armed. And my exchange of words with you is like fist fighting a kid that's 2, and I would be wrong for that. But the fact that you question me says to me undoubtedly that you don't believe these spirits that surround me. Like the words from God's mind to Moses' heart to Aaron's tongue. I don't speak unless I'm spoken to. And see, that's the problem I'm having with you. Constantly flipping off misconceptions and old ideologies as if they were new, as if they were true. But finally the truth has come home to roost, and this time there's no calling truth. The ancestors have spoken, and here is the message from them to you. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
The measurement of a man cannot be found in his wallet, his pocket, or the car that he drives, but in his mind, his soul, and his intent to do God's will. But for those of you who think otherwise, love's gonna get you, love's gonna get you, love's gonna get you, love's gonna get you. I love you. Pow! No! Pow, pow! Now we gonna always be together. No, please, baby, don't shoot me. I'll do anything. Just let me live. You don't love me. These motherfucking streets don't love me. Bitch, I'll kill you and me. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Don't you understand? I don't want to be with you no more. Boom, boom, boom. Open up these goddamn doors. I ain't playing. I know. I know, Mama. You told me he was crazy, but it's like he over here right now, and if I don't leave, I think something bad gonna happen. I hit you. You always talking about I fucking hit you. You weren't talking about I hit you when I was buying you those Gucci purses, and I was you. And the bottom line is, you know you ain't never leaving me, right? I said, you know you ain't never leaving me, right? God damn it, answer me when I'm talking to you. Or you ain't answering me? Okay, we'll see if you be answering me once I come over there. Girl, he got your eyes all black. I told you to leave him. Don't you understand that violence is a part of this man's way of life? Well, or what you thought you was special because he buy you a few things. Because he show you his sensitive side. Don't you understand that that's only more the reason why he do what he do to you? He really ain't that bad. He just going through some things. See, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. You always trying to go somewhere with your friends, or you always trying to go somewhere with your mama. I told you there was some bullshit. From now on, you ain't going nowhere unless I fucking tell you to go. Girl, I met this dude at the club. I'm talking about platinum this, throwback jersey that, S500 Benz sitting on 20s. I swear to God, this man got everything I need. How you doing, sweetheart? My name is Larry. What's your name? Felicia. Rewind. Girl, I met this. I think I love you. You ain't going nowhere. I told you to leave him. You know you ain't never leaving me, right? Pow, pow, pow. The measurement of a man will not be found in his wallet, his pocket, or the car that he drives, but in his mind, soul, and his intent to do God's will. But for everyone else, love's gonna get you. Love's gonna get you. Read through my confessions.
Some messages from God by way of existential lessons. People may deem it writing, but I call it progression. Poets may call this a performance, but I call it a perfection of oration. They see it as breathing, I call it verbal oxidation. They see it as spitting, I call it lyrical precipitation. You may call this a slam, but it's a spiritual meditation of the heart. You can't appreciate poetry unless you understand the art. You can't appreciate the lights unless you know the essence of the dark. You can't expect to finish unless you had the strength to start. So I begin. Within the realm of other poets' shadows, the pen is mightier than the sword, and please, I don't want to battle. Let me channel all of my energy and find different ways to tackle the problems with human nature. And while you're laying it down on the mic, I'll be laying my thoughts down on paper. And while you're getting high off the applause, I'll be getting high up off the vapor. And if you keep trying to test me, gonna need to find your savior, for I will answer. Use my words like venom and spread my wisdom like it's cancer. Let my poem come from my soul and move off my tongue like liturgical dances. You can call me a poet, but I prefer to be called a chanter of revolution and change. For there lies my obligation. You can call this spoken word, but I prefer creative articulation. You can consider me a Taoist because I live free of expectation. You can label me a nomad because I'm making a mental migration towards the truth. Mastering the act of metamorphosis to change my voice box to a flute so I can resurrect the dead and restore promise to the youth. Spit prophecies on the wind and use my faith to make them transmute into reality. Engaging in telepathic ciphers to strengthen my mentality. Becoming metaphysical to counteract police brutality. If you want to give me strength, if you want to give me strength, let me settle, but that'll give me immortality with each sentence. Studying Maslow's hierarchy of needs for the act of transcendence, living the legacy of our ancestors through the art of remembrance, pouring libations to pay respect and to give my purpose more existence. There is why I write. And since nothing is new under the sun, I've been avoiding the daylight so I can produce original poetry with my personal insight. And if truth must be discovered, then the darkness must give it life. So now I write without shadows, casted by the sun, using the rainbow to paint a picture of a people who were hung. And if the wind is their voice, when you blows, you can hear their song. The story has been told, but the conclusion is not quite done. So now I wait in the dark, writing nocturnal pieces, reflecting the mysteries of the moon with a gravitational thesis that pulls love out of hate and God out of man. And ever since my conception, I've been seeking to understand the nation of the world and the reason for my existence, and my purpose must be to write because my proclivity is to listen. So now I sit in fetal position, eyes closed in a dark room, trying to rewrite my best poem so it can be inscribed on my tomb. Under the poem that when written sounds like ballpoint ink fumes, and it reads, my first poem was written on the walls of my mother's womb. Peace.
When the pen's in the system, ain't no telling will I write them or diss them. That's what they yelling. I'm a poet by blood. I'll replay some. See, in my notebook, I write with a wave cap instead of a turban. I'm not in the lecture hall, I'm in the ghetto, so that makes me urban. Contemporary, heavy rotation, quotation of my poems is heard in all the others. Kwabena, inspirator, motivator, Spitfire to young sisters and brothers. But excuse me, Miss Nikki Giovanni, this time I got to exercise these demons. I've been reading your poetry and I got to exercise these demons. So I said a few prayers, poured the libation, said this while the minister was speaking. He gave the universal greeting of Assalamu alaikum. I said, wa alaikum assalam. I said, forget the field goal, this 4th down and 10. We need to go for the bomb, or better yet, the Hail Mary of Mother of Proof. I'm standing on the roof like Romero and Sugar Hill. And like Romero, I want this peaceful, but it looks like I'm gonna have to kill one of them, 2 of them, or maybe even a few of them. Law is law and justice is swift. You hit me and I hit you and your brother or any other who want a piece of this piece. This statement was written with the pen of Miguel Pinedo, so it's a manifesto, a dick grabbing bravado. For the lying poets is a truth serum, so it'll be hard to swallow. They got nerve to say my poetry's fictitious, repetitious, you nincompoop, silly oxymoron. That's like black people voting for George Bush, ridiculous. But excuse me, Ms. Brooks, I'm trying to be real cool. And see, for so long I've been trying to avoid, but they staking up the mic so bad they need the Altoid. I know that was a shot, they couldn't catch it, so they charged with an error. I smacked them on the wrist, so I guess I bring terror, meaning I'm the bad guy, see. So pardon me, Langston, see, I'm about to get huge. See, I'm so broke because I done paid my dues, and I push myself because I'm trying to fill my great-great-great-grandfather's shoes. And who gives a fuck what they say, because I don't cross my T's and don't dot my I's and don't follow no rules. I am the Rakim of this shit. I wrote the poem that broke the muse back. See, the truth is, I'm better than most on my worst day. I'm a marathon, they might be marathon sprinters, but I'm a marathon man running from Kenya. I done ran 20 laps and I still ain't thirsty. I write so serious, but forgive my wordplay. And sorry, Miss Sanchez, like you, I want to be a vessel, but like you, I come from beautiful, badass black people who write poems at a greasy kitchen table and tell ghetto fables about how Cain slayed Abel. No need for your rhyme, no need for your rap, no need for your clap, because where I come from, they gun clap, and they told me this was a battle. title, but this shit is quite simple. These ain't nothing but little kids, and I pop them like pimples.